Chapter 167 of One Punch Man was absolutely insane. We got some amazing art from Murata and quite literally some otherworldly feats of power. But among all the insanity, we actually got a huge piece of information that might have fallen below the radar for some. This, of course, is the reveal of a mysterious crater on the dark side of the moon. In this crater, we see what appears to be a spine of some sort poking out of the center of the crater, and in today's video, we'll be discussing how this could potentially be revealing where God's physical body is being imprisoned and how it even got there in the first place. This is Anime Anxiety, the channel where we talk all things anime and manga, so let's talk some manga. So, taking a look at the panel in question where we see what we can assume is the spine of God, the first question we have to answer is how the hell was God placed inside the moon and by who? To answer this, we actually have to take a look at a chapter of the webcomic, chapter 119 to be exact, where a seemingly comical and lighthearted sequence might have given us the answers that we're looking for here. In the opening of this chapter, we see Saitama in a forest beating down a random villain when he's approached by men dressed in medieval armor. To make a long story short, these men are from a group called the Saints, and they've been at constant battle with a group called Deathbone for hundreds of years. Saitama is told that long ago there was a cruel dragon who threatened to destroy all living things on Earth, before being sealed away by seal masters into various seal stones that resemble cubes. The role of the Saints in the current day is to protect these stones locked away in 9 temples, and the Deathbone's mission is to collect these stones to awaken the dragon once more. Saitama then goes on to speedrun the temples, collecting all the stones, and kills the dragon with one punch, just before going to the market to buy some bananas. Now, it might seem silly to use this sequence to explain how God was sealed away, but I don't think that it's a coincidence that this is the same chapter where Amai Mask reveals the history of the world that they live in, which to that point was a huge mystery to us. And we actually see this cruel dragon stuff come into play because if you guys remember in chapter 164, when Garo hits Saitama so hard into the earth that it bulges the opposite side of the planet, when the crust below the ocean is raised on one side, it exposes this temple with a dragon statue in the front of it. And to be honest, this dragon, like right down to the eyes, looks exactly like the cruel dragon in the webcomic. So I think that there's something here. I think that the opening sequence was a clever way for one to hide crucial information in plain sight. It's very possible that even thousands of years ago, the Saints of the manga's continuity managed to somehow seal God away in the moon and split his cosmic soul, for a lack of a better term, into the cubes that we're familiar with at this point. Who knows, maybe there's 9 cubes like there's 9 seal stones in the webcomic. And to take it a step further, sealing his physical body might have caused the creation of the moon, as the seal masters realized it was too dangerous to have such a large body stored on Earth. Think of this like how Kaguya was sealed away by Hagoromo and Naruto. Much like in the webcomic chapter, gathering the stones, or in our case the cubes, would then summon God, causing the moon to break apart like a chick hatching out of a shell or something. Now, I don't know about you guys, but a final arc with God being awakened and having the first obstacle be all the heroes teaming up to destroy the fragments of the moon that are falling to Earth as a result of God's summoning would be pretty damn awesome. Now that we have the how and the who squared away, let's answer another burning question. Why is there a huge crater on the dark side of the moon in the first place? This one is a little trickier to answer. There's really only 2 or maybe 3 possibilities that I could think of here that make some sense. The first one, being probably the least likely, is that hole is there because that is the hole where God was placed into, you know, like they had to create the crater to fit his body into it. And, you know, thinking about this, I'm kind of just picturing like a moon-sized forklift or something, just like shoving God into it. But in all seriousness, the second one is a little bit more likely, and it's that when Saitama got hit into the moon by Boros, we see that he creates this huge impact and even a crater on the moon. So I don't know how like energy transference works, or if that's even the term for it, but what I think maybe happened is that when Saitama got hit into the moon, the force that created reverberated through the moon and out the other side, aka the dark side of the moon, which kind of blew that part of the moon into pieces and exposed God's spine. Now, this could also explain how God's able to more easily influence people on Earth and be able to communicate with people on Earth more easily, because he kind of got a slight awakening by Saitama from this, kind of like he got knocked awake or something. Now, the third and probably most likely idea is that this is symbolizing, or this is One and Murata kind of showing us that God is slowly starting to come into the fray. He's slowly starting to be awakened. By exposing part of his back, it's showing that soon we might be seeing like his entire body, and therefore his full awakening. But we probably won't get answers to this until the next major arc of the story, and maybe not even then. But hey, I'm here for it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys agree with anything that I said? Do you have different theories or ideas? You know, let me know in the comments. Let's have a conversation here. I'm all ears. But until next time, guys, I'll see you later.